Hello, Magic Casters! My name is Chance, welcome to my Spellbook, and thank you so much for tuning into this 65th episode of our first level spell series. Today we're going to be taking a look at Silent Image, which is one of the coolest and most creatively liberating spells you're going to be able to cast at these early levels. It is usable by the Bard, Sorcerer, and the Wizard, and naturally, through extension, anyone else with access to their spell lists, and it is found in the Player's Handbook, so we should all have access to it. I have personally seen this spell used to some pretty ridiculous effects throughout the years, and I'll get into those a little bit later on. But before we do that, let's take a look at its mechanics. Your cast time is the standard one action. The range is 60 feet, but the area in which the spell can kind of manipulate is actually a 15-foot cube. So just bear that in mind when you're using it. Your duration is 10 minutes, which is impressive, but it is a concentration spell, so just please bear that in mind. The effect at a glance is as followed. Create an image, you can animate it using actions. The illusion will fail a physical inspection. A creature can also make an investigation check versus your spell save DC. On a success, they can see through the image and naturally know it's an illusion. The components are the Holy Trinity, somatic, material, and verbal. If you're curious about that material component, it's a bit of fleece, and it's kind of meant to symbolize pulling the wool over someone's eyes. A lot of the spell components have weird kind of relations to the spell themselves, and that's kind of this one's. And the school, unsurprisingly, is illusion, which makes sense. There aren't a whole lot of illusion spells in these early couple levels, so this is certainly one to note. With that being said, let's take a look at the full description, and let me warn you, this is a wordy one. You create the image of an object, creature, or some other visible phenomenon that is no longer than a 15-foot cube. The image appears at a spot within range and lasts for the duration. The image is purely visual and isn't accompanied by sound, smell, or other sensory effects. You can use your action to cause the image to move to any spot within range. As the image changes location, you can alter its appearance so that its movements appear natural for the image. For example, if you create an image of a creature and move it, you can alter the image so that it appears to be walking. Physical interaction with the image reveals it to be an illusion because things can pass right through it. A creature that uses its action to examine the image can determine that it's an illusion with a successful intelligence investigation check against your spell save DC. If a creature discerns the illusion for what it is, the creature can see through the image. Very, very cool stuff. You can see how this would lend itself to a ton of applications, and to be honest, it has in the past. Before I get into that, let's take a look at the alternative use section here. Some of the best uses I've seen for Silent Image are creating an important NPC, one that's being hunted by various assassin groups or guilds, and have them act as a decoy. Alternatively, you can disguise yourself or someone else as something relatively inconspicuous, something like a potted plant, for example. The alternative to both of those would be to use this as a way to trick people. For example, make them think there's untold riches in a cave that you don't particularly want to go to, have them go in and disarm any traps, anything like that, only to find out that it is an illusion. Naturally, there's going to be a lot more than just that, but it gives you a pretty good place to start at the very least. With that being said, if you have any cool ideas, any interesting uses or concepts for Silent Image, I'd highly recommend you put them down beneath in the comments section. I really enjoy reading them, and I know everyone else tuning in does as well. With that being said, I actually want to take a quick moment to thank our lovely patrons for joining the guild. So thank you, Marcos G. Guzman Jr., Reyna, Tanner Frazier, Kenny Garcia, Bruce T, and Tato Seal for joining the guild. I really appreciate it, and the other guild members do as well. If you'd like to chat with us, we do a daily live stream from 10 p.m. to 11 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so if you ever have a free moment, I'd highly encourage you to join in. We always love having new people. We just have a lot of good conversations, interesting discussions, and some pretty interesting Q&A. And if you like that cool hand-drawn Warforge on screen and you'd like your own hand-drawn D&D character, please check out the Patreon videos to figure out exactly how to do that. That being said, thank you so much for tuning in, guys. I really do appreciate it. And as always, happy casting.